What's up, y'all? I'm back. I'm back as promised with that second story time. Well, no, it's like the fourth story time. I'm basically back with the next story time, like I told y'all I was gonna give y'all in the last video, right? So here we are. First of all, did y'all know we was like at 173 subscribers? Like, anybody who chose to rock with me on their own merit, thank you, y'all. Thank you. To some people, that's a very low amount of subscribers. But hey, they my subscribers. They did on their own will. And I'm proud of that, because it's very hard to grow on YouTube, and to see the growth makes me happy, right? So we're gonna keep going. We still on Halle. This whole series is nothing but her. And the last thing that I remember telling y'all about was she was about to get jumped by these girls, right? So we're finna go back to the male center thing, because a lot of what was annoying about her was because she was male center, right? So let's go back to that. But before we do that, if you watching and you haven't subscribed, what you waiting for? Huh? What's the hold up? Do that first. Do that, and then once you do that, let somebody else know that you did subscribe, and let them know that they need to do the same thing. Okay? All right, cool. And then make sure you like the comment now, like the post now, like the video right now. Don't wait, just like it right now, because those likes do help me get into the algorithm. So like the post. I won't put a gun in your head and make you comment, but it would be very helpful if you commented too. Okay? So boom, story time. Listen up, let's get it. All right, so I was telling y'all how me and her was promoting parties in Detroit, right? Now here's the thing about being a female promoter, right? The nightclub industry, the entertainment industry is very, very male dominated, okay? Very rare you're gonna find females that are actually promoters or actually putting events on or headline or leading events. A lot of times you'll find the women in like the nightlife, they will probably be like the bottle girls, bartenders, door workers, street team, things like that. It's very rare that you're gonna see them be like top dogs, like promoters and calling shots, right? But that's where I wanted to be. I mean, I love the bottle girls, I love the door workers, I love the bartenders, because without y'all there is no event. But that's not the lane I wanted to be in, right? So, and also felt like having female representation helps to make sure those things go seamless too, because a lot of guys try bottle girls, but that's a story for another day. We're not finna get into all that, okay? I say that to say this. Because it's very rare for females to be in the top spot as far as like nightlife goes, it is very important that you carry yourself to a high integrity, a high standard, and you take this serious, and you don't let people, i.e. these men, play you out of your money or anything else for that matter, right? So I knew that even without having the experience of being a nightclub promoter. Because I feel like that in jobs. Like if it's a male dominated job, you gotta stand up. You gotta be a shark. Like you cannot let people run all over you, right? And you for sure can't succumb to no advances that men are giving you. Like I don't believe in dating where I'm working. I just don't. I don't like that, right? So I'm telling Halle, like, listen, I think that we both need to be in agreement that we got to take this serious. If we gonna run this like a business, we got to run it like a business. We're not taking no shorts. We're not taking no disrespect. We're not gonna let nobody just do what they want to do when it come to us. None of that. And she's like, oh yeah, for sure, because I no, about my money, blah, 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 right? So we had that conversation, and then that's that. I also have a homeboy that promotes in Detroit, and he was telling basically the same thing. Like, y'all gotta realize y'all females, and you're automatically not gonna be taken seriously just off that alone. Like, unless you show and prove to them, like, no, they ain't to be played with, right? So we kind of got it both sides, and I had a female that I looked up to. Well, it was a female promoting group, and at the time there, that they took us under their wing. They gave us little tips and tricks too. So I had a lot of good people on my side that were really like, you know, pouring into us, right? So that's that piece. Now, if you've never been to Detroit, I don't even know how many of my subscribers are from Detroit or from Michigan, period, but there are some very good looking men in Detroit. We are not gonna cap, all right? Detroit got some heavy hitters, right? They got some good looking dudes, some dudes that will wind down you, but hold tight. In that same breath, they don't call them Detroit players for no reason, baby. They call them Detroit players for a reason, okay? Because if you're easily manipulated by words, then leave them Detroit dudes alone, okay? You just stay in your small city if that's where you're from, and stay where you at, because yeah. So anyway, there was this promoting group. Now, at the time that me and Haley got to Detroit, there were a lot of promoting groups, a lot of promoters. And essentially, everybody was kind of like heavy hitters. I mean, you had some that were like heavy hitters, but everybody else, they were still making waves, you know what I'm saying? But there was this one group. Okay. I can't give y'all a lot of detail when it comes to this story for legal reasons. Not me, but with the person we talking about, all right? On top of that, I just don't want people putting two and two together. It shouldn't matter, but it does, because a lot of these people I still have connections and ties with. I'm not trying to put them in no mess, especially since I didn't necessarily get permission from everybody involved in this story to tell this story. I don't need to. It's my story to tell, but I want to keep it with some class and some decency, right? So I got to be careful how I do this. So there was this promoting group. We're going to call them... Oh, man, I almost said their real name, and that would have been tragic. We're going to call them... I can't even do that, because if I say that, people will be like, oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Let's call them Big Flexers, okay? That's the name of the promoting group, Big Flexers. But we got to separate them, because they were two friends, right? So we're going to call one Tyrone, and we're going to call the other one Tyrell. Am I going to get this right? Yeah, I will. Okay, because one of them, he don't even matter. Tyrone and Tyrell. Friends, they promote together, okay? So, I don't remember exactly how we ran into the Big Flexers. Like, I don't remember, like, how they came on. I really feel like what happened was we just happened to go to a party, and there was the promoters on the party, and we just kind of met from there. I think that's how it went. That part is very murky for me, too, right? But anyway, as we promote more into the city, you meet so many different promoters, right? And you make connections, which is what you want. You want that to happen, right? But we run into the Big Flexers, and they are just that, okay? They are Big Flexers. They always dripping in designer. They were good-looking dudes. Dripping in designer. Always had a gang of females around them. They always buying bottles. And they pull up to the club. They always pulling up in, like, BMWs, Benzes, the fly shit, right? And it's just like, okay, they got some money on them. At first glance, that's what you're gonna think, like, oh, they got some money. And you know what? I was going to just say that they were friends, but I can't even say that because of the different parts of this story. So I just gotta tell you they were brothers, all right? They brothers. Let's just leave it alone. Okay, that's all I'm gonna tell y'all. They brothers. I was gonna try to just keep it real discreet and say they were friends, but no, I can't do it because of what's gonna happen. So they were brothers, all right? Cool. Big Flexers was on a lot of different parties. It was in all the hottest clubs, whatever. And then at some point, we got put on a party with the Big Flexers, right? And we promote our parties. We doing what we do. Now, what I would normally do is I'm stuttering like a big dog. At this point, it was not uncommon for clubs to get promoters comp bottles, right? Now, I always had this belief that A, I'm a female, right? B, we're a promoter in a city that we not from. C, we playing with a lot of money. And D, you need to keep your head on the swivel. So I would never drink. If I was promoting a party, I would never drink. What I would do, and Haley, I had to tell her, like, bro, you need to stay sober in these clubs, dog, because stuff be happening. And if it wasn't for the fact that one of us was sober, things would go bad, right? So what I would do, when they would give us our comp bottle, I would save it. So then if a birthday party came in that I booked specifically, preferably, then I would give that to them as their birthday gift. It says complimentary on behalf of me and Haley, our promotion team, whatever. You know, happy birthday, whatever. To me, it was a good marketing scheme. It made for people to have a good time. And I don't need to drink it no way, but we still giving it away, right? That's kind of what my mindset was. So that's what I would do with our comp bottles. Now, the Big Flexers, they're not giving no comp bottles away. They was pouring them boys up. Now, they probably was in a sense when they pouring it up, they giving it away to people in the section. Probably in that sense, but I gave away the whole bottle. But no, not only are they not giving away they comp bottles, they're buying more bottles. Now, that part I did not understand, because as a promoter, I'm trying to make money. I'm not finna spend no money. Unless it's like your birthday, then yeah, okay, cool. But I don't understand why they were doing that, but ain't got to do with me, child. So, Tyrone and Tyrell, for the most part, were cool. Like, they were for the most part, cool dudes. I ain't got, no, I do got something bad to say about them. Well, not them. One of them, right? So, Tyrell takes an interest in Haley. or Halle texted Ancient Tyrell. I don't freaking know. I know before, I will say this. After the first event that we met the Big Flexers, Halle said, oh my God, they so cute. Da, 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 da. I'm like, yeah, they alright. Like, cause I'm not looking at them like that. Like, I can acknowledge that they are cute, but I ain't trying to get too involved in none of that. Like, cause I'm trying to stay focused, right? She's like, oh my God, and then Tyrell, you know, he was looking at me and da 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 da. I'm like, oh, okay, girl. So she kind of already had it a pre-notion in her mind that she wanted to be with she wanted to talk to Tyrell, right? So boom. So Tyrell makes his move, whatever. I guess I feel like he hit her up in a DM first, like on Instagram, because they didn't have our numbers. So he's up in the DM. She tells me like, yeah, Tyrell said that, you know, he want to see me. And then asked when the time was gonna be in the city, and I said, well, the next time will be this weekend because we gotta promote this party. She's like, oh yeah. So he's like, oh, I guess when she told him that, he's like, okay, bet, I'm gonna slide through. So the weekend comes, the party comes, and he slides through, him and his brother and his 5011 friends. Now, Big Flexers, they don't get that name for no reason, right? So when they get there, they're making a fuss because they feel like, how dare you charge us? Do you know who we are, type of thing. The door girl was just doing her job, man. She may not even know who y'all are. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, well, hey, listen, like, it's like 50 of y'all. Like, we can't just let everybody in. So one of the other promoters that was on there with us came out, because it couldn't be Halle. Halle didn't have, like, at this time, like I said, we were starting to get a name for ourselves in Detroit, but not a name in the sense where we could go to the front and tell the door people to let 50 folks in for free. No. Probably not a thing, especially not an event that you didn't put together. So no, so it couldn't have been her. One of the other promoters like, oh yeah, the Big Flexers, those my dogs, whatever, let me in. So, but when he got to the door, he's like, whoa, like, I could let y'all in, but all of them can't get in for free. So they was like, dang, you can't do nothing for me. So they worked out some deal where they paid like a discounted price, but it's just astonishing to me that for y'all to come to somebody's party, and yeah, y'all will be good, that's fine, but bringing all them folks, that's crazy work to me. So anyway, so yeah, they come up with a little deal. They tell their little friends, whatever, that they can pay this set amount, and then they be good. So they do that, cool. And then they get a section, and they flexing. You know how that go. They're standing on the couches, they buying bottles, they pouring shots, they hey, whatever. So of course Halle is enamored by this, like, cause she was her person where like that type of stuff was a turn on for her, like super flashy dude, super attentive. Not attentive, super attention seeking. That's the word I meant. They drip it in designer. They appear to got money. No, that was her type of dude. To me, I said they was cool when they were, but to me, they was clowned out. I'm just calling a spade, okay? So he walks over to her. They having a whole little conversation, whatever. Now, even though Tyrell is trying to talk to Halle, Tyrone never approached me, and I'm happy about it. He never came to me on that type of time. He would speak, you know, what's up, T, you know, but he wasn't on no, so I mean, saying like, no, he never did that, and I respect him for that. That's why I say I got to be careful how I tell this story, because I'm not trying to offend both people, okay? So that happened. So at this point in time, they exchanging numbers, they kicking it, they talking on the phone, blase, skip. They're not really dating because we're in two different cities, right? The only time they can see each other is if we come down to Detroit, you hosting a party, or we just there just to be there, right? Because that was very common. We would just be there just to be there. There's absolutely nothing to do for us in our city, so it's nothing for us to be in Detroit just to be there, right? So this particular weekend, because I'm ready to get into the meat and potatoes of this story. Y'all got enough backstory. One particular weekend, right? I hit Halle up and I was like, I'm trying to see. I feel like we were going to somebody's party. We were going. Oh, was it our party? Now that part, I don't know. I was in Detroit so often, I couldn't even tell you if this was our event or somebody else's event. It don't matter. We was in a club, right? We went down there for the weekend. We ended up getting a hotel room. I remember that. Now, this particular day, the weekend, she did put in a hotel room. She ain't play me like that. This is earlier in the friendship, so she wasn't really doing none of that stuff yet, right? We get this hotel downtown Detroit. We getting dressed, whatever. It was a cute little hotel. It was right smack dab downtown. We get dressed. We end up going to the club, right? So we do that, we go to the club, have a good time, ha ha ha, and then we come back to the hotel room, right? So girl, I'm putting on my pajamas, I'm taking off makeup, I'm wrapping my hair, whatever. So then next thing I know, there's a knock at the door. Now who could be knocking on this door at 2, 3 in the morning? Who could be doing that? So I look at Halle and she was like, oh, that's for me. What you mean that's for you? Who is that? Oh, that's Tyrell. Bro, why did you tell him to come up here this late at night? And she was like, oh, well, he gonna stay with me. Okay, now look, this is just me, right? I kind of feel like if you got plans where you want to kick it with a dude, you should probably get your own room, right? Is that just me? Because why would you want to share a room with another female if you got a dude coming to stay the night with you? Why would you do that? Hey, it's a learning curve. Like I said, we got a long way to go when it comes to this journey. And this is annoying to me. I do not like for females to... Don't book a room with me and then have dudes come to the room for you and then they staying all night. I don't like that type of stuff. I don't even like people knowing where I'm laying my head at. So yeah, Tyrell and Tyrone was cool, but not cool enough for me to want to be sleeping in the same room with them. That's crazy to me. So I'm like, okay, I wish you would have said something. Like, I'm kind of uncomfortable with him being in his room like at night. I don't know him like that. She's like, oh, it'd be cool. We probably won't even be in the room. We probably just like walk downtown or something. Like, why would you? Whatever, right? So he come in, he's like, what's up, T? I was like, what up, though? Because I'm irritated now. I'm just like, what's up? Like, so, whole lie was told, right? She talking about something we probably won't even be in a room because I'm dog tired. Like, I'm going to sleep. I don't care what they talking about. And at first, they was just talking, right? They wasn't talking loud, but they was talking about, like, you know, the club and different parties that he was going to be on and all this other stuff. And then next day, I know the lights go out. So I'm like, okay, so maybe they're going to sleep. I'm not really a deep sleeper unless I'm like sick and I'm like on meds. Like for the most part, I'm kind of a light sleeper. For the most part. Now, it'd be some nights where I'd be out. But because he was in the room, I know for a fact I wasn't going to be in no deep sleep. Because I didn't trust, I mean, like I said, they were cool, but I don't trust everybody, right? Like, so, especially to that extent. So... my eyes pop open because I'm hearing noises. I'm hearing like smacking and like slurping noises, like kissing noises. And I'm like, I know good and fucking well. I know good and well that they not doing what I think they doing.
Wait a damn minute. What?
Okay. So it kind of stopped for a little bit. And then it started back up. And next thing I'm hearing like a moan, like, you know, like that type of thing. And I'm just like, nah, dog. So I got up. I got my shoes. I got me a key card. I left out of the room, right? I'm like, y'all not finna do that while I'm in the room. Like, y'all not finna do that. I do not like that type of stuff. I'm not that friend. If you want to do that, I'd rather you say, yo, we gonna get our own room. Because we try to do A, B, and C. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that to me. That's uncomfortable. Like, I'm not gonna sit back and listen to you get it on with this dude. So I left. I'm so irritated. Like, I'm just walking around the hotel. There's nowhere for me to go. It wasn't like a hotel like where, like, if we would have been staying at the casino or something, it would have been easy for me to just go downstairs and been on the table or something. But it wasn't that type of hotel. It literally was just a hotel. There was no restaurant or bar to go to. Wasn't none of that. Well, there was a bar, but at this point in time, I think it was closed, right? So I'm just like aimlessly walking around. And I was like, I don't even know like when to go back up there because I don't know how long it's gonna last. So I'm getting a text from Halle. Like, she's like, hey, where did you go? And I'm like, I left out of the room. I was like, y'all serious right now? And she's like, we're not doing anything. He about to go.
I don't play like that.
Well, I ain't even say nothing back. So she went, all I heard was, he about to go. So I left, right? So I mean, I went back upstairs. So I go back upstairs and he's like buttoning up his pants and stuff. That's how I know they did something. Because why would you have to do all that? Right? So he's like, T shoot straight? And I was like, mm-hmm. He said, dang, man, not you blocking.
Bitch. The door.
Not me blocking. You know, for you to have so much money and you to be flexing so much, you very well could have got your own room, sir. You could have just said, you know what, I'm gonna go get us a room and you could just stay with me. You could have did that, but you're leaving. So I'm not really blocking anything when you think about it. Like, it's not, you think it's fair to me for me to put in on half of a room and have to be made to feel uncomfortable because the other person that I came down here with wants to do the nasty with you in the room while I'm there? You think that's fair to me? You very well could have just went downstairs and say, hey, I want to get a room with a single bed and y'all can do whatever y'all want to do. I wouldn't have no problem with that. I wouldn't have cared. But I care when I pay money for a room and I'm made to feel uncomfortable. If you want to call it blocking, bet that up. It's blocking. So he ended up leaving. And when he do that, I ain't say nothing. I just went to sleep. Haley, she just turned or went to sleep. I was like, sleeping in that nasty ass bed is crazy. But whatever, not my business. Next morning come. I just get up and I just start doing my makeup on my hair. I ain't say nothing to her. And then she gets up. She's like, hey, did you want to get breakfast? And I ain't say nothing. I just was looking straight ahead in the mirror, like, and just doing my makeup. She says, everything okay? I was like, no, it's not okay, Haley. I was like, that was bogus what you did last night. Like, it was inconsiderate. And she was like, well, I didn't mean to hurt, I didn't mean to offend you or do anything like that. Like, I just thought it'd be cool. I was like, yeah, but it's like if two people are in a room, you don't think to ask that person, like, if they're okay with someone else come out. I would never do you like that. It could have been another female. It could have been one of my homegirls. And I stood up like, yo, you cool if so-and-so come up, we just gonna, talk, kick it, whatever, real quick. And if you'd been like, well, I'm already not feeling it, I'm like, okay, that's cool. We'll just go out, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I don't do people like that. I was like, so when you did that, that really irritated me. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. I ain't mean to do that. And this, that, and the third. So we ended up hashing out. We talked it out. It was done deal, right? So that was that. My homeboy ended up hitting me. I was like, y'all in the city still? And I was like, yeah, we stayed the night. He's like, okay, let's go to breakfast, whatever. So we ended up going to breakfast with him. So that was the end of that whole little night situation, right? So fast forward. Let's get about 2-3 months later, right? So we end up getting put on this party with them, by them, okay? They put it out there like we should put Haley and Tish on the party, whatever. And the rest of the promoters like, oh yeah, I heard them, they straight, yeah, let's do it. So they put the word in for us to get on the party. And that was that. So we were on the party, cool. We do our job. We promote it. We show up. We host. We doing what we supposed to be doing, right? Big Flexers doing what Big Flexers do. They pulled up to the club in the Mercedes Benz and the drop top, not Lamborghini, Corvettes, and just big flexing, right? So they show up, and when they coming through the club, it's like they make it a big deal. I'm not gonna say it's a big deal. They think it's a big deal. They coming in, they gotta make a grand entrance because the DJ gotta announce them. It's just, it just gives, I don't know what to give. It's just, to me, it's corny, but whatever. Especially for it to be like a regular night. Like okay, let me get to the rest of the story, because like, the only reason I'm saying it's corny because I know what I know, but we gonna get to it, okay? So they come through the club. You know what? I can't even tell this part yet. Reverse that back. Reverse that back. Reverse that back. Reverse it back. First, okay. So let's say instead of 2 to 3 months, it's about like a month to 2 months later, right? It's still close. That event comes close to this, but just hold on, right? They hit us up and they was like, hey, y'all got plans this upcoming weekend? We was like, no, not really, whatever. And they was like, well, you should come down. I can't remember what they invited us to. It was something specific, y'all, and I cannot remember what it was. But basically, it was like a mixer, right? So it's something they were trying to be a part of. Not like a multi-level marketing scheme and all like that. It wasn't nothing like that. It was like it's not a support group. I don't know. It was just a mixture of a bunch of different people when we got there, right? So it was at this house. It was like a big Victorian house. It was nice though. So we get there, we park on the street, we go in, and it's like a lot of people in there. They got like food, they got drinks. It's like white people, black people, Mexican people, a lot of Muslims there. And it's just an array of different people, right? So we see them like, oh yeah, we glad you came, whatever, what's up, whatever. And I was like, what's up? So, they had like soft alcoholic drinks, like daiquiris. Like, it wasn't like no real deal hard liquor in there. It was like mixer drinks, right? So I was like, okay, this is cute or whatever. So they do that. And then after that, they was like, hey, y'all can just come to our crib. We'll just continue to party there. And I'm like, all right. So after they did the mixer, we go to their crib. This is when things start to get interesting, right? Let's get it. So we get in the car. We following them to their house, right? So, and their house was probably about, it wasn't even 10 minutes away from where we was at, right? So we get there. It was like a ranch style house. It was cute. I mean, it wasn't nothing to just be like, oh my God, but it was cute, right? So I'm like, okay, they got their own house. That's what's up though. Cause at the time, like, I'm what am I, 22, 23? Yeah, I'm like that age. And then they were like 25-ish. So I'm like, oh, that's dope to have your own house. Like, cause I mean, when you're younger, you would think like a 25-year-old, they should have their own house. That's not necessarily, no. So there, they got their own house. And it's the thing. if they both were going to the same place and they both were coming home at the same time, why did they both have to drive a separate car? I did not understand that, but whatever, it's not my business. So they get out the car, they tell us to come to the garage, we go to the garage. And I'm just kind of, because when I go in people's houses, I just be scoping the scene, right? So I'm just scoping it out. Now, the first thing I noticed was that when you come through the garage, there were a lot of shoes by the door, right? And they weren't all men's shoes. There were some were like kids' shoes. Some were like, it was a lot of women's shoes there, but they wasn't like girls our age type shoes. It was like flats, kitten heels. I don't know. So I'm just kind of looking like, got this weird look on my face like, oh. So I say something like, dang, y'all must have a lot of people at y'all house. Like, whose shoes these belong to? And it's like, oh, you know, our sister be here and she bring her kids. And I'm like, all right. I'm not really thinking much about it. I'm just kind of like, okay, that's what they said. Cool, bet, right? So my edges is reverting. I hate being natural. In due time, I won't be no more. But anyway, let's go into their house. And then we sit down. The house is very, it wasn't like overly decorated. It was just enough, right? But I do notice that there is a woman's touch to this living room. And that's not the worst thing, because a lot of times when dudes move, their moms do help them decorate. I got a couple homeboys that did, their moms did that. You know, you could tell, oh, your mama definitely picked that out, right? But it don't give that a woman lives with them. It just gives that they got a woman's touch in decorating, right? So I'm sitting there, I'm just looking at it. Okay, this is cute. Whatever, this is nice. It's clean. It wasn't dirty. Wasn't nothing like that, right? It just looked too clean for two men to be living together, right? So I was like, okay. I said, can I go to the bathroom? And they was like, oh yeah, it's down that hall. So I go down the hall, I go to the bathroom. Now, while I'm walking down this hall, I noticed something. There are two bedrooms, right? I'm like, okay, one for him, one for him, his brother, right? So I see him, like, okay. But I go to the bathroom. The bathroom again, has a woman's touch. But to me, too much of a woman's touch in the women's bathroom, right? Because the first thing that I noticed was that there were 3 toothbrushes. Okay? 3 toothbrushes. The second thing I noticed was that there was a tower of Bath and Body Works stacked against the wall. Like, you know how, like, well, women, y'all can, men, y'all might be able to relate if you got sisters or a girlfriend, but women for sure. Women, you know, like when we buy like a lot of Bath and Body Works and we may like arrange it like on our counter and just like stack them up. That's kind of what it was. It's about a cool 3 rows of Bath and Body Works, right? All right, so I'm like, this don't give that your sister be in and out. This give like, she live here, and that's cool that she do, but then where is she staying if I only seen 2 bedrooms? I got all these questions going through my head while I'm going to the bathroom, right? So something told me, I'm just gonna look under the counter. I just gotta know, right? Because another thing that I noticed was in the shower, there was some like men's shower gel, a bar soap, and then I saw some oil of Olay. Ain't no man using no oil of Olay. I don't care what nobody say, right? Shower gel. I look under the sink, y'all. It's so many women products. I'm seeing flat irons, curlers, maxi pads, tampons, Summer's Eve, all the girly stuff, like body butter, like girly stuff. And I'm like, nah, dog, another woman live in this house. It could be his sister, but he making it seem like she just be in and out. And then he said his nieces and nephews. So if they're coming, where are all these people supposed to be staying when I'm only looking at 2 bedrooms, right? So I'm just, all right. So I come out, they all talking. They was like, hey, T, you know, we was just talking. We was saying, you know, we was all, well, I was hungry. Are you hungry? I was like, yeah, I'm hungry. Well, we about to go get some food. And they was like, yeah, well, y'all can stay here. We just don't go to Coney because it's up the street. I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah, well, that works. So they went and got Coney, whatever, and they left us in the house. I tell Haley, I said, Haley, I don't know, something off. And she's like, what you mean? And I was like, it's too many women products in this house. And she's like, well, he did say his sister be in and out. I was like, In and out means that she will leave stuff here and there. Baby, she all up and through this house if it's his sister. And I was like, I'm looking at them shoes at the door. How the fuck old is his sister? Because them heels give very much so motherboard at the church, right? She's like, well, that's not nice. Like, you know, she could be older. I was like, go to the bathroom, look around, and then look under the sink and let me know what you see. She's like, all right. So she goes to the bathroom and she was like, it's hella woman shit under the sink. I said, and listen, there's only 2 bedrooms in this house. There's no basement. Where the hell are they staying at when they come? And she's like, huh. So she's like, well, let's go see what the bedrooms look like. Bet. So we go to the first one in the back. It's just one, it's a big room. It's huge. It's obviously the master bedroom. It's a king size bed. That room had a lot of women products in it. And now they dumbasses should have thought to shut the door. Especially if you gonna do this, you should have definitely shut the door, right? So around, I turned the light on, I was like, oh hell no, this is a woman's bedroom. She was like, it's hella shit in here. I'm talking about purses hanging up. There was like a whiteboard of like her plans for the week or whatever, and baby, when I saw eyebrow thread and appointment, I was like, oh yeah, it's a woman. It's a woman in this house. The bed is like this very girly print on the comforter. Is made. Yeah, she had like these flower like house shoes by the edge of the edge of the bed. It's just girly stuff. Whole lot of perfume on her dresser. That's a woman's bedroom. We was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, so that's not making no sense then. I said, because if she got this room, it's either one of them is sleeping with the woman and that's not their sister or whoever, or 2 people are sleeping in that room. She's like, well, let's go see. So I shut the light off. We go see. We turned that light on. It's 2 bunk beds in that room. Now, initially, I was like, okay. They did say they had some kids coming over here. Maybe, just maybe. Baby, I looked down. I saw Dior sneaks for men. I saw Huaraches, Jordans. I'm seeing boxers. Men's boxers. And like, what's that stuff dudes be wearing? Was it aftershave, I think? I don't know what that stuff looked like. That's what I think it was, though. This is their room. 2 grown-ass men is sleeping on bunk beds. But these the same dudes that's pulling up to the club in Benzes and BMWs and Corvettes and they dripping in designer. Y'all not finna tell me that these are 2 men that's sleeping in bunk beds. I was like, okay, so I just had a revelation. This ain't mama house. She's like, you think so? Haley, what other sense does it make? Do you really think that if he had a sister, that she would put them in bunk beds? I was like, I don't know why the mother would do it. I don't know why they didn't take them down and make them 2 separate beds. Like, that's at least they could do. But baby, these are bunk beds. Like, as if you were like at a hostel or something. I said, let's go before they come back. They did say it was up the street, but let's just go. So we sitting on the couch looking at each other like, this is insane. Like, I'm like, it's really odd that 2 grown men. It's not so much they live with their mom. I ain't tripping on that. It is what it is with that. But it's that bunk bed thing for me. And it's the fact that y'all be flexing like y'all like that and y'all not. So it's awkward now. Like, but when they get back, we gotta kind of like kill it. We gotta take that off our face. But you know I'm about to ask some questions though, right? So they come back. They bring back the food, whatever, we, eating. I was like, so who all you said stay here? And it was like, oh, it's just me and my brother. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I was like, but so when your sisters come and her niece and your nieces and nephews come, where do they stay? And they was like, they just made pallets on the living room floor. I was like, even your sister? He's like, well, she'll sleep on the couch. Okay. I was like, so how often do they do that? Is it like a all the time thing? It's like, no, not really. Just, whenever she into it with like her boyfriend or something like that, he said. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. I look at Haley like, and she was like, oh, okay, cool. I was like, so, do y'all mom, y'all dad, do they stay in the city, or did they, it's just you and your sister? And I was like, yeah, they stay in the city. I look at Haley again like, yeah, they definitely stay in the city because they staying in this house. I was like, okay, cool. So I ain't pressing no more. It was just already unwritten that they live with their mom and they're sleeping in bunk beds. Now, I did not run and tell this information to people. I didn't like go to my homeboys like, you ain't gonna believe what I found out about the big flexors. I didn't do that. I ain't do none of that until after the fact. But we getting there, okay? So now let's fast forward to the 2 to 3 month mark, right? We on this party. We on this party at one of the hottest clubs in Detroit that's no longer standing. Damn, that kind of made me sad a little bit. But anyway, that party did numbers. Now, the agreement was supposed to be for me and Haley to be paid separately. It's like $400 a person or something like that. We went with a set price. I told Haley, I said, I think it's better if we just go with a set price if they come and ask us to be on the party versus waiting to see what the door do. I said, because when they do that, we don't really, unless you in the room where they're counting money, you're never gonna know exactly how much was made, so they can tell you anything and bring you anything out. So let's just get them a set price that we cool with, and then we be done with that. I want to say it was like $400 per person, right? So, which is still low at this point in time. Ain't no freaking way I take no $400. You crazy, like. But anyway. Like I said, when you coming from another city to be a promoter and you don't already have that leverage, you do kind of gotta like work your way up, because we didn't stay here. Obviously, we was making thousands of dollars after a while, so it really wasn't okay. Whatever. I'm getting beside the point. Anyway, that was the agreement, right? Now, because the big flexers put us on the event, it was their responsibility to pay us, right? So. Another thing I don't like. We should never do that. You should never do that. But you know what? In another video, I'll give y'all like promoting tips to whoever is interested in being like a nightlife promoter. But I don't want to do that right now. So to the party. The party is busting. It's sold out. It was at capacity. It was a good ass time. Big flexers doing what big flexers do. They buying bottles when they need to be putting some money to the side to get them a kit to get them bump beds broke down. But or better yet, get out that house. But whatever. I just look at them differently now, because I'm like, y'all kind of capped out in a way, like, you know what I'm saying? But whatever. So the night goes on. This particular night, we had brought some girls with us. We brought my cousin, my friend Bree, but my friend Bree didn't count because she was technically a part of the promotion team at the time. She was in and out, all right? And then we brought one of Haley's friends. We gonna call her, oh, I don't know, I like her. I just thought about who I was talking about. We gonna call her Janet. Yeah, okay. Now, let me tell y'all why I don't like Janet. Janet, she may be different now. This is when we was way younger. But Janet was another one that was very male-centered. She was very digmatized. Like, she just did the most, like, when it came to dudes. And she's going to come up again in the clown series, but we'll say that, right? So we brought them with us, and we ended up staying in a hotel. We ended up staying at a Holiday Inn. I'm gonna tell y'all that because it's not down, but I gotta tell y'all what happened, right? So, end of the party come, and I'm looking for them. Like, I need that money. Like, that's why I don't like back ends. Exactly why I do not like back ends. So, I'm looking for them. Like, where are they at? Like, what the fuck going on? Like, I'm not walking out here with my money. So I go to the promoters. I was like, where are the big flexes? I think they just left.
Boy, ain't no fucking way, boy. Boy, ain't no 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 way.
They left. So I tell Haley, like, you need to get Tyrell on the phone and figure out where he at with our money. So she was like, they not here. I was like, no, they left. So she calling. He ain't answer. This is why I said you should never be sleeping where you work, because now he probably feel like he ain't gotta pay you because, you know, you sleeping with him. So he probably feel like you ain't gotta do none of that. But the problem with that is I'm not sleeping with either one of y'all. I want my money. I don't want to be paid in nuts. I want to be paid in my dollar, in USD. D standing for dollar, okay? So Tyrell finally calls her. He's like, what's up, baby? And she was like, hey, where are y'all at with that money? He's like, oh shit, we gotta pay y'all money. And he was like, where y'all at? And we was like, we staying at the Holiday Inn. He's like, okay, bet. We gonna pull up to the Holiday Inn and you get the money. I said, okay, cool. I said, tell him that I'm gonna meet him downstairs in the lobby and get it from him. So Haley tells him. He's like, all right. So we get back up to the hotel room. I like bust it down. Like, I'm like in my sweatpants and my hoodie, cause I'm about to go to sleep. Like, I'm tired. Like, I'm not one of the people that was trying to like leave the club and then go to the casino and then go to Coney Island. No, I'm trying to go home, right? So she was like, okay, Tyrell said that they pulling up. I was like, okay, cool, I'm about to go downstairs. So now, keep in mind, it's 5 girls in one room. It's already fucking too much, but how the hell do we do that? Oh, it was a pull-out couch. I'm gonna say, how the hell and why the hell we do that? Well, first of all, it was supposed to only be 4 people, but, you know, there was an add-on, Janet. So, anyway. So, I was like, okay, I'm about to go down there. So, I go down there. So, the hotel already know that there's 5 people in one room, right? So, go down there. I'm in a lobby just, like, pacing. Like, waiting for them, like, where they at? Y'all. Tyrell and Tyrone come through that hotel, right? why they got 50 niggas with them again. And I'm not lying when I say 50. It was at least 20. 20 at the least, okay? I'm looking like, okay, where y'all about to go? Like, they was like, we gonna come kick with you. I was like, no. 20 niggas is not going in that room. So I was like, you just need, I tell you what, give me the money. Let's handle that business. I'll go back upstairs and see what they want to do. We could probably go to the casino or something, but y'all all cannot come into that room. And so he was like, all right. He was like, well, let me just call Haley, whatever. I'm like, can I get the money? Like, what we doing? So now they all in the lobby. They recording something like on a digital camera, like each other, like, oh yeah, you know, we turned the city up, you know, that type of thing, right? Because actually, they might have been recording for Instagram. I don't even remember. I do remember seeing a digital camera, right? Front desk looking like, I know you lying, like, and I'm looking like, no, baby, they not coming for me. So I leave them in the lobby because I was like, I don't want no problems. Like, I don't need nothing from no hotel. So I go back upstairs. I said, Haley, Tyrell and Tyrone playing with this money. You go down there and you fix this. I said, because that's what I'm talking about. This is on you. He's probably stalling because of you. He's like, all right, I'm about to go down there. So she go down there. I'm heated now because I'm like, I knew they was going to play some stupid stuff. I knew it. I could feel it. That's exactly why I don't like her putting together no deals. That's exactly why I do not like her putting together the deals, because something always go wrong. There's no contract. There's no nothing. It's just we going on somebody's word. Haley got on there. It's a knock at the door. I open the door. Why does she have all 20 niggas with her?
Oh my God.
I was like, they all piling into our room. And I'm like, bro, y'all all cannot be up here. Like, I do not want 20 niggas in my room. It's like, chill out, Teach. You just too uptight. This is Tyrell talking. You just too uptight. You need to relax a little bit. It's not that deep. It is that deep. Nigga, it's already too many people in one room anyway, but then you got 20 more? No, sure enough. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. It's front desk calling. I said, hello. She was like, I don't know what y'all got going on, but everybody I just saw go up them steps to that room better make their way back down here, or I'm putting all y'all out. I said, oh no. Yep, bet. I was like, if you got 2, call security. I was like, because they all can't be up here. So Haley not saying nothing, dog. I'm like, Haley, get these niggas out of here, dog. Like, did you get the money? She's like, no, I didn't get the money. I sent you down to do one specific one specific task, and you couldn't even do that. I'm like, Tyrell, come on, man. Y'all gotta go, but I do need that money off of you. What's up? He's like, you need to chill. I was like, no, you need to chill. I say, what was the point of you coming up here if you ain't got this money? I'm not here to play and mingle. Like, I don't care about none of these niggas. Where is my money? Y'all, that man pulled out a wad of money out of his pocket and said, here, your funky ass $400. You happy now? Hand me that Vaseline. I'm about to whoop this nigga's ass. So yeah, he throws his money in my face like I'm a fucking stripper or some shit. No shade to y'all. No, it wasn't even a stripper. He threw it in my face. It literally hit me in my face, yo.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm tired of that. It was so disrespectful. You done hit me in my mouth with some goddamn money.
Y'all, one thing about me y'all gotta know is I have very quick reflexes, okay? This motherfucker threw that money in my face. The first thing I saw was this Bible, and it was a hardcover Bible. I picked it up and wham, right in his face. I don't ever throw no fucking money in my face. You dumb? Don't ever disrespect me like that again. That boy smacked his fucking face. Like, oh, it was like, oh! But when they did that, it made such a loud noise. Security come up. They said, y'all all gotta go, including the people who booked this room. I said, so we go downstairs. Me and my cousin. My cousin, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna tell her name because she ain't gonna care. My cousin Sam, right? Now me and her go down to front desk. We talked the lady into letting us stay. We was like, listen, you know what? You absolutely right. We was dead wrong. I said, but in my defense, I did not call for all of them. All I wanted to do was speak to one of the dudes. Somehow they all came upstairs. This is why I was telling you to call security, because I don't want them in my room. I don't even know these dudes. Like, I just want my money. She's like, okay, so if you saying that they're a problem, I'm going to get security and get them out of here, and y'all can stay. She's like, but I don't want to see nobody come into that room tonight. I was like, I promise you it won't happen, sis. Like, I promise you. It's just gonna be us. She's like, okay. So we go back up to the room, and Tyrell is still there. I said, you can get the fuck out of my room. Then I'm seeing fucking Janet picking the money up off the floor. She's like, well, if you don't want the money, I'll pick it up. I said, put my fucking money down. Bro, it's beside the point. We're not gonna be crawling around the floor picking on no dollars like we some fucking peasants. Like, put the fucking money down. So Tyrell was like, well, that's all I got for y'all. And anyway, that's only $400. Where is the other $400? Haley, I said, Haley, you get your money? She's like, no. Well, you know what? I'm gonna let you figure that out because the money on this floor is mine. If you don't seem to care about your money, that's gonna be on you. I'm not fighting for both of us. Like, that's gonna be on you. Now, while we doing this, Janet disappears, and I realized that Tyrone is not there, but I thought Tyrone left with all the other guys, right? So we finally get Tyrell leave. We finally get everybody out the hotel room. Bet we can stay. We good. We about to lay down. The phone rings again. I say, hello? She's like, yeah, y'all gotta go. I said, what's happening? What do you mean? What? I said, no, there's nobody up here. Like, what happened? She's like, I just saw a guy walk out of y'all room on the camera. I said, you didn't see no guy walk out of this room on the camera. I said, the only person left out of this room is Janet. She said, no, it was a girl, but it was a guy too. I said, lady, you sure? I said, I'm telling you, the only guy that I saw was the last guy that was up here when security was here and they left. I was like, I don't know nothing about no other guy. You sure? It was our room? She's like, yes. And y'all have to leave. Y'all cannot stay. Y'all wanna know what happened? Keep in mind that this is Haley's friend, okay? Janet walked out. I heard the door slam and I knew it was Janet because that's the only person I didn't see, right? But I'm thinking she was thinking ice or something. I ain't thinking much about it, to be honest. That's not my friend, and I don't like her as it is, so I didn't really care, right? So, you know what happened? Remember how I said I didn't see Tyrone? You know why I didn't see Tyrone? Because Tyrone and Janet was in the bathroom fucking.
Hurt you?
Oh my God.
Don't act shocked.
Yes, they snuck us to the bathroom. They were fucking. This whole time while we all there arguing, trying to sort stuff out, they're in the bathroom fucking. And when she walked out, she basically was walking him out. I got to know that I was hot, okay? I've never been put out of a hotel a day in my life, okay? Well, no, that's not true. No, we didn't get put out. I just cussed them out really bad, but I didn't get put out. Anyway, so Janet come upstairs. I said, you might as well pack your stuff because we just got put out because you was in the bathroom messing around with Tyrone and they saw you walking out of the room. She's like, oh my God, they tripping. No, you tripping. You don't even know this guy. You don't even know this dude. How did y'all end up in a bathroom together? You just met him for the first time tonight. How did y'all end up in a bathroom together? And at a time that was so critical. You seeing your friend, not friends of, your friend arguing with this dude about not giving her money, and you choose to go out with his friend and sleep with him instead of, because the whole time that this is going on, Bree and my cousin was like, yeah, y'all dead wrong. Y'all need to come up with their money. Like, you know, they at least was trying to back us. They ain't really had no dog in the fight for real, but they at least was trying to back us up a little bit. And then once boy threw that money in my face, my cousin was on 10, like, oh hell no, you tripping. Like, you know, so yeah, I was like, so pack your stuff because we gotta go. She's like, she really putting us out? She's dead serious. She said that we ain't out. If we don't vacate this room within the next 30 minutes, they're calling the cops. So yeah, she's dead serious. I would think she's very serious. So it's like 5 in the morning, y'all, and I'm about to drive back home because we got put out. Not only did we get put out, she banned us from that. She banned me specifically from that hotel because it was in my name. She banned me from that hotel. I can never go back. But God works in mysterious ways because I can't go back. You're right, because they knocked the hotel down. So F it. So yeah, the money that was on the floor, once everything settled, yeah, I picked it up and that was my money. So Haley did not get paid. No, I was not splitting my pay with her because that's exactly why I was telling you not to be sleeping with these dudes, because I told her that he's not going to feel like he has to pay you because y'all, you know, doing whatever. She said, well, that's not right. Yeah, it ain't right, but that's how I go. I'm telling you, I know how these dudes think. Sure enough, what happens? We on a party, and now when we're supposed to be 8, it was 4, and I'm not breaking my stuff down because I told you not to do that anyway. And if you ain't fight to get your money from your man, then that's on you. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna get mine. So it is what it is. And I get paid from that party. That put a dent in their whatever they had going on. But also, let me tell you what's what happened. So after all that go down, I didn't tell nobody about it. I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't tell like my homeboys till like later on in life. And they was like, "Dang, you serious?" I was like, "Yeah." But because she was sleeping with Tyrell, that whole little fiasco popped off. Tyrell went and told everybody that we was easy. And that we, you know, that he was sleeping on Halle, whatever. And we was easy, we some hoes and this, that, and the third. Now I don't sleep. I have not touched not one dude in Detroit. Damn sure ain't touched Tyrell, and I damn sure ain't touched Tyrone. But that's the story he spun. My homeboy called me. He's like, "Yo, you got a minute?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you know what's being said about y'all in the city?" I'm like, "No." He's like, "They saying that y'all some hoes, like, and that y'all slutted out." And I was like, I bet that's coming from the fact because Halle is sleeping with Tyrell. He's like, "Halle sleeping with Tyrell?" I was like, "Yes." He was like, "Yeah, that's kind of who's been circulating this thing around. Something must have happened." I was like, "Yeah, he upset because things got real sticky." I told him the whole situation. He was like, "So wait a minute, he didn't pay y'all money?" I said, he didn't pay her money. I got my money. She ain't fight for her, so she didn't get it. He said, "I don't blame you. Like, that's on her." So yeah, they started doing that. Now because of that circulation, I had to release that classified information that I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but now I'm gonna tell them. So I made a Twitter post. I was like, not the dudes who still stand with their mama sleeping in bunk beds every night, flexing like they got it, renting BMWs and Corvettes and Benzes to stun for one night. Not y'all trying to call us some hoes. One person out of my party may be sleeping with whoever, and that's her prerogative, that's her decision. I said, but I would not let nobody destroy my character and put false claims on my name when I know for a fact this ain't that. But I know for a fact that these two dudes that's spinning this narrative, they stay with their mama and they sleeping in bunk beds in one room. And yeah, oh boy, what'd I do that for? Twitter blew up. They was like, "I knew those niggas was capped out. I knew they was and they some weirdos." Like, it's like it opened Pandora's box. Like, once I said that, it was like, "Oh, that make a lot of sense." Because this. So apparently, the big flexers owed a lot of people money, right? They was getting down on a lot of different people when it came down to money, and a lot of people actually did not like them. So to me, it was actually dangerous for them to really be doing parties in the city, because I think anytime somebody could have pulled up on them, right? Detroit is that kind of city, right? So that opened up Pandora's box, and child, that was that. After that fiasco, I don't remember seeing them again. They kind of just fell off the face of the earth, kind of. But anyway, that's the end of my story time. Oh, as far as Halle go, I don't think she continued to talk to Tyrell because he never gave her money. So whatever, that's her problem. But ladies, get rid of them male-centered friends, dog. Get rid of them male-centered friends. Now, for me, I don't play when it comes to my money. I do not play. Anybody can get it. You can ask any one of my homeboys in Detroit that I promote parties with. I don't have to get in a lot of people's grips when it came to some money. And they know I don't play. My mouth is lethal. It get like that, all right? So that was probably about the last time that we got played with because of her. Because there was another instance, but that happened before, and I don't feel like recapping that. But this was the main thing. I said, going forward, you don't make no business deals. You don't do the deals. I'm gonna do the deals. If anybody come to you and say, "Hey, we want to get you and Tish on a party," tell them, "Well, call Tish, she'll set it up. You do that for me, and I'm gonna take care of the rest." She did that. Ever since then, fist over face, money over fist, money coming in. That's exactly how I was looking for it to be, right? So, with that being said, that's how that ends that out. But baby, we not done. We not done. Now that ends that situation, but we ain't done. Yo, my name is Tisha Shanice. I got a story time after story time after story time when it comes to Halle. And don't worry, because once Halle series ends, I'm gonna take y'all right into Clown. Clown is worse than Halle. I hate that man. But anyway, with that being said, I want to thank y'all, like I said from the beginning of the video, for following me, rocking with me, subscribing to me, all that. Like, I really do appreciate y'all. I'm so serious. I do appreciate it. Don't no love go unnoticed. I'm trying to respond to all y'all comments, but everybody's still on that first Halle series, like going in. I'm like, okay, y'all, I'm trying to stay focused. But I want to say thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. I fuck with y'all. I rock with y'all. We friends now. We locked in. We in there, right? So, the next video I'm going to drop for y'all is going to be my DR vlog. I just came back from DR for my friend Bree's birthday. And that vlog is lit, y'all. We had such a good time. That vlog is lit. I haven't decided whether I'm going to do 2 parts of it yet, because it's actually a very long vlog. But it's long in a sense of it's not going to be boring. There's just a lot going on, right? So I haven't decided how I'm going to do that yet. But either way go, it should be coming to y'all soon. I'm still editing it. It's so much editing to do, but I'm getting it done. But I wanted to get this video out to y'all because I told y'all that I was going to give y'all story time next week. And I want to stay true to my word, right? So, with that being said, stick with me, stay with me. Make sure you like the video if you ain't do it like I told you to in the beginning of the video. Make sure you like it now. Leave a little comment, you know, because I like comments. And thank you for subscribing. And tell a friend, and tell a friend, and tell a friend, and tell another friend, tell another friend, to tell another friend to subscribe to Teacher Shanice, all right? With that being said, y'all be easy, y'all be smooth. Y'all find y'all joy, y'all hold on to it. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.